Hello guys, this is the second video for reported speech, and here you will have the three remaining rules. Important. So the second section is simple past, and past continuous, and the use of will and the use of can. So important. In order to use reported speech in the past, you will need to learn the past participle. Okay, so important. In the first video, you learned the past. Now for this one, you need to learn the past participle. Okay, because if I write one sentence in the past, immediately you need to use the past participle in reported speech. For example, I'm going to use one with was. So let's see the example here. Okay, imagine that I say I was happy. Okay, you say I was happy. This is simple past. Now, important, when you're going to use reported speech, you need to use the past perfect. So he said, okay, so he said that he, important, this is past. Immediately you need to use había, which is had. And so he said that he had, and the past participle of was is estado. You know, be is ser, so estado. So estado in this case is been. So he had been happy. Okay, so that's why you need to learn the past participle for the simple past. Let's see another example. Okay, I'm going to share another verb in past. Okay, let's see road. You see road is andar, right? So pay attention to the past participle is ridden. Okay, ridden. Okay, so I'm gonna write an example and then we review all the past participle that you need to learn for the exam. Okay, let's write here one example. I rode my bike yesterday. My bike yesterday. Okay, so you see here, rode is in past. So immediately you need to use, well, he said that he had, because that's past, that he had, and important. So what's the past participle of rode? So you come to the list, you say, okay, the past participle of rode is ridden. So he said that he had ridden, his bike. Okay, so that's why you need to learn the past participle of the verbs. Now let's study and review the verbs that you need to study. Okay, like been, sido o estado, chosen, escogido, and after chosen you have done. So there you have done, then you have driven, then you have eaten, you have fallen, here you have fallen, which is caído, and then you have slept, dormido, and you have spent, which is the same, spent, gastado, then you have left, and felt, met. Here, important, you have flew, volé, and see the past participle, flown, volado, and then you have grown, crecido, you have noun, conocido, you have gone, this is ido, and here you have tenido, which is had, and then the other one is given, which is dado, and you have seen, visto. Important people here, pay attention. Tomado is in the passive with a, but in the past participle is with you. So tomado, yeah, is drunk. And you have swum. And let me continue, guys. Okay, I'm gonna show you here, okay, some other examples. And just give me a minute. Okay, so guys, let me continue. So I was telling you that you need to study the past participles, okay? For example, last one was like tomado. Tomado is with U, and tomé is with A. So be careful about that. The same like here, nadé is with A, swam, y nadado with U. So you say swam, okay? Another one is the same rule. So sang is with you. So spoken, also you need the spoken, woken, worn, bought, you see here, bought, and taught, enseñado, and taken. Okay, so remember, this is the mandatory list of that you need to study in the past, but in this case, the past participle. Okay, the past participle is when you have examples in past. Imagine that you say, I buy, well, I bought candies. So here I bought candies. Well, in this case, you say, well, I'm gonna make one here in negation for you to see. I didn't buy candies. You see, didn't is in past. So, and when you're going to make the change, you say, no había. So he said that he had important people. The negation of the past perfect is hadn't, and the past participle. Okay, so buy is comprar. We need comprado. So he said that he hadn't, this is the negation, that he hadn't bought, comprado, that he hadn't bought candies. Okay, and I'm going to create another example here. Question, did you drive your car? Okay, or imagine, yeah, did you drive your car? Okay, so here you have a question in past, you have did, it indicates past, and here you have drive. Okay, so you say he asked me if I had, the past participle drive is driven, if I had driven my car. Okay, I'm gonna write another one here, an example for you. Okay, imagine that you have, I make a question. Did you have lunch? Did you have lunch? Okay, did you have lunch? Okay, so you know, did means past. Okay, and so you would say, well, he asked me if I había had lunch. If I had lunch. You see, había tenido. Okay, that's why you have had, había tenido. Okay. Now, what happens if I write or if I say, I didn't have lunch? Okay, let's see here. I didn't have lunch. I didn't have lunch. Okay, so you say here, I didn't have lunch is negative. Okay, didn't have. So when you put it in reported, so you say, well, he said that he, negation of didn't in the past participle is hadn't, that he hadn't had lunch. Okay, that's the way you make it in with the simple past. You use the past perfect, which is had and hadn't in the past participle. So guys, learn the past participle for sentences or questions in simple past. Okay, the next one is past continuous. This is super easy. So for example, you say, I was watching TV. I was watching TV. Watching TV. You see here, you have was. And immediately you say, here for everything here, when you are going to put it, you would use had been and verb ing. So he said that he had been, and repeat the verb. So watching TV. Okay. Imagine that I say, okay, I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't watching TV. Wasn't. It's negation. You see here? So he said that he, you make the negation, hadn't been watching TV. Or if I make the question, were you sleeping? Let's say, were you sleeping here? Were you sleeping? So you said, well, he asked me if I had been sleeping. If I had been sleeping. You see, you need to use had been, verb ing, or hadn't been, verb ing. Okay, this is the easiest one of them. Guys, and the last rule is when you have will, guys. For example, you say, I will go. The change you make is would, is the change. The past of will is would. If you say, I want, the past of want is wouldn't. If you have can, the past is could. And can't is couldn't. Okay. For example, I will go. Okay, he said that he would go. You see? Very simple. And what if I make a question? Can you swim? Okay, this is a question. Can you swim? So you say, what is the past of can? The past of can is good. So you say, he asked me if I could swim. Well, guys, I hope this second video about the 3 remaining parts for reporting speech has been useful for you, okay? And keep watching and start.